Alright, it is actually possible to access the custom games browser by yourself. This means you don't need 2 controllers, you don't need 2 people, you can do it with yourself with either just 1 controller or 1 keyboard and mouse. Now, for controller players specifically, you have to go into your settings first, and you have to go to accessibility, and you have to enable linear navigation mode. I believe it is the case because of the way that the controller normally interacts with the menus, though don't quote me on it. It may work without it, but if it doesn't work, you should have to enable this. For PC players that use keyboard and mouse specifically, not a problem, you can use your keyboard and mouse and you don't need to enable it at all. So once you've set that up, all you need to do is you need to click Academy, Training Mode, and then you have to select the map. What we have to do now is, whatever button for controller players, whatever button's here, press that, okay? And for PC players, you can manually click on this, or you can press F1 in my case. So I'll press it once. As you see, the menu will fade to black. Then what you need to do is click whatever your close button is. In my case, it is simply just Escape. And then you'll see it change to this menu, background, then do it once more, and you'll see your Spartan in the background. Now at this point, just click on Free for Free Industries, and then just pick a map. In this case, I'll choose Behemoth, and boom, you're in the custom games browser. Now, what you'll find out is if you just launch this as the way it is, it should fail. The reason is that it is actually, as the server is chosen, it will actually pick Xbox Live. See, it says here there was a problem with the dedicated server, and that's because it's trying to access an Xbox Live server. And the problem is the custom games browser actually runs on their own servers, and Free for Free don't have these servers up, and so you can't actually play with these on Xbox Live, and that does mean you're not going to be able to play over the internet with other people. Now the only 2 options that do work is just local offline, which just means just by yourself, no one else, and then LAN, which basically means anyone that's on the same network connection as you can play. So unfortunately, the only way as of current now to do custom games is with people on the same network. In my case, I'm not planning to play with anyone, so I'll just choose local offline. Mode editor. We're given just 4 game modes: Arena CTF, Arena Slayer, Bot, and Stronghold. You're given a lot of options down here, like if you've got map, but map's got its own option here for some reason as well. So you can change the maps, lobby options, which is just not really important because you won't be playing with anyone. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these because they're not all necessary, but I will go through. So I'll change the mode to anything that isn't, because by default it's actually set to training mode. So if you want to actually play a proper game mode, you're going to have to change it. Doesn't matter what to, I'll just choose Arena CTF. Then you want to go on the mode edit again, player and bots. Now if you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see bots. What you want to do is you want to enable the bot for backfill enable. So we'll fill in empty play slots with bots. So we'll just enable that. You can choose the difficulty, I'll choose ODST. Now, the one thing I'm not entirely sure is on the number of bots. For some reason, what I've worked out is you're allowed to have 1 player and up to 9 other bots. So let's say I'm going to be on the Eagle team, I'll choose 4 bots and then 5. Because for some reason, if I choose 8 on both, it'll only spawn, I think, 8 on one team, and then you'll be by yourself. It'll be you, and then your whole team will be, what will it be, like 8 other bots. And for some reason it won't want to go over more than 10 players / bots in one match, which is strange, but I guess it's just the way it is. Now loadout, another thing. You can actually access some hidden weapons, which you probably already know about, like the Hydra for example, and then we'll go with a bunch of ammo. 200, yeah, I'm sure that's not broken. What else is another weapon? Ravager? No. Go with Stalker Rifle. So yeah, you can select weapons, other weapons that aren't supposed to be accessed in here. Now I've got some other stuff like respawn. That says 10 seconds, it may be on default. For me it was on like 60, which seems a bit too high, so I'd make sure that isn't set ridiculously high because you're going to be waiting too long. Now all you got to do is click play, and because we changed the server settings, this should load successfully. By the looks of things it has. Now I guess we'll just wait for it to load in game.
Seize their flag and defend our own.
As you can see, I currently have the Hydra with me, which is a weapon you're not normally able to access. I keep having the problem where no matter what I set as a secondary weapon, I just won't spawn with it. And so that's just the way it is. As you can see, there is currently 4 bots and what is that? 6 on my team. So that adds up to 10. Yeah, that's what I was saying, wasn't it? Yeah, so basically there's only allowed to be 10 different players, including bots, in one match at a time. And I'm currently set to the Cobra team, which you can actually change teams mid-game, which is good. I'm currently Cobra, so we'll go for Eagle. So you basically want to choose 4 bots on one team, 5 on the other, so you got a 5v5. The actual bots, surprisingly enough, know how to use a bloody yeah, they surprisingly actually know how to pick up flags, which I was surprised about. They're not smart enough to get in a vehicle, man a turret for me, but they're smart enough to know how to use bloody flags, which is interesting. I guess I'll just try and work out what's the best way to get the same amount of bots and allies on a team. Because I don't want to leave you with the whole, oh, you can play by yourself, but I'm not sure how to get the right amount of bots. Yeah, see, it says right here, no for the Team Cobra, which is weird. So we'll turn bot fallback on. Difficulty shouldn't matter, so we'll go with 3 on Eagle, and then 4 on Cobra, which will be 7, plus me, which will be 8. So if I go back, that's interesting, it says no for Cobra. Alright, so one thing to note, make sure it actually applies to settings. In that case, it didn't apply originally when I set it to 3 and 4. So make sure before you play, it's set as 3 and 4. Otherwise you might get unbalanced teams. And I will be on Eagle team, so it'll be 3 plus me, which is 4. I don't think the game allows more than 10 players at once, so just be wary of that. Yep, so in scenarios like this, you've actually got 8 players, so just make sure the bots are all there and that, because it seems a bit buggy. Obviously in this case the weapon's set as default reset, but that is completely fine. But I reckon it should be possible to have more as long as the settings just apply. So if I go end, yep, okay, mode editor. Training mode, for free, CTF Arena. Then we'll go to map, for free, then we'll choose Behemoth. And then we'll go server, make sure it's local offline. Mode editor, player and bots. Scroll down all the way to the bottom. Turn bot backfill enable, then select 8. And then also 8. And then make sure you respawns 10 seconds isn't too bad. Go back. Set 8 to both, so we should be good to have 8 bots on both teams, I believe. Could have been originally when I was talking about how we're only up to like 10 players at once to the yeah, to remove them for some reason, like I showed you earlier, but who knows. It's entirely possible it's just a bug. I mean, this is pre-release software, so more than possible.
Their flag and defend our own.
Yeah, no, so it's entirely possible. You're just going to make sure it enforces the actual settings. Now, I want to do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, okay, so you want to always select one less bot than on one team than the other. So you want 7 bots on one, 8 on the other, because you're going to be filling that team slot. Otherwise, you got you versus them. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have to show for this. If you've got any questions, like you want to know if you're having any problems with this, do ask, you know. I would like to help you out because I reckon this is a pretty neat thing. Allows for 8v8s, which training mode doesn't allow. Actually allows you to play for objectives, for example, which definitely actually makes training more interesting. Because it's actually not just pointless killing, you've got a target in mind here. I'm not going to ask how that frag grenade stuck to him, but let's not question that. So, if you found my guide actually useful and helpful, because I told you how to do it on your platform, regardless of your control scheme, do like the video, you know, stuff like that helps me out. Definitely nice encouragement to have. Subscribe if you want to see more, not necessarily stuff like this, but just general Halo content. You know, that's what I kind of do here, so if you're interested in that, subscribe. Apart from that, that's really all I got for this video anyway. Hope I see you again soon. Have a good day.